Well, hello again, and welcome to part 2. That was Finn Hope's winning trio set from last weekend's Perth Virtual Festival. And he was playing the tunes The Furrow's End, The Highland Wedding, and Bobby Colgan. And I'm delighted to say now that we're joined by Finn Hope today, and he's going to join us for a wee blether. Hi Finn, how you doing?
Not bad, Andrew. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. I'm good. So thanks for joining us, Finn. You're quite a local celebrity around about the local Accordion Fiddle clubs. How long is it actually you've been playing the accordion, and when did you start playing in the accordion clubs?
Well, I think it was 6. I was 6 when I got my first lesson, just after my 6th birthday, and I think my first box club was in that December. So
right.
When I was 6, so I've been playing for about 7 years now.
7 years, right? Good,
so,
good. Well, you've come on well in the 7 years, and you've quite a good go at the Perth Virtual Festival that was held. Was it last weekend in Perth? And you were winning the trio set.
Yeah.
Who joined you in the trio, Finn?
So in the trio, it was Tom Moore on piano and Emma Gardiner on fiddle.
Brilliant. No, that was great. And so it's just a trio. Was the trio section the only section you took part in, Finn, or was there more?
So I did a junior traditional Scottish, the Gaelic waltzes, and the bands, and then the trios as well. Right.
And how did you fare in the rest of the competitions?
I didn't get placed in the traditional. I came 3rd in the Gaelic waltzes. Yeah. I didn't get placed in the bands, but I won the rhythm section in the bands, and then I won the trios. So it was a good day in Perth.
Well done. A pretty successful day then, because according to Alan, who was one of the adjudicators, said that entries were up, and the standard was pretty good throughout the day. And I actually heard 1 or 2 of the band entries, and I thought they were really good quality. And no, I'm sure there wasn't much in it. How do you put your trio and how do you put the band set together? How do you go about that?
Well, a lot of it's really thanks to Keith for putting it together. But so I record myself, and then I send that to Keith, who sent it on to Tom, and then Tom put on his piano, and then it went to Emma. She put on her fiddle, and then it went to the rest of the band, like second box and drums. So it's kind of put together bit by bit.
Yeah, good. Because it was a band set that we heard at the start of the show, wasn't it? So,
yeah,
good. And how do you go about? Obviously you're playing. You had some really good musicians playing alongside you. It must be good to have that sort of quality joining you in the band.
It's really encouraging to have people like Tom and Emma and Andrew and Jim along beside you.
Yeah, and it's quite a local lineup as well, isn't it?
Aye, everyone was pretty local this time, actually.
Good. And is it quite a local lineup you like to pick? Yeah,
it's. I like to have people locally, because then they're at box clubs you're at, and it means that you're kind of playing with the same people a lot. So that's really
the reason I'm saying that, Finn, is that I'm quite local, but can I miss the shout?
Sorry, Andrew.
Maybe next time.
Aye, maybe next time.
Good man. So you played a lot of tunes, obviously throughout the festival. And what would you say was your sort of favourite tune out of the lot?
I think my favourite tune would be the final reel, Bobby Colgan. I really like that tune.
Yeah. Bobby Colgan, of course. The late Bobby Colgan was a drummer in the Jim Johnson band.
Yeah.
Right. And that tune was a tune wrote by Bobby McLeod, is that right?
Aye, it was written for Bobby McLeod because, well, normally on the bands for Perth, there's composers that you have to play tunes by them. So we had thought from last year it was Bobby McLeod, and I think it was maybe Ronnie Cooper. So me and Keith started putting a set together with all those tunes, and then we got told that we didn't need to do that, so we just thought we'd keep an original tune in it, just to kind of stick by what usually gets done.
Yeah, good. And how did you enjoy playing at the virtual festival? Did you find it more stressful or less stressful than the real thing?
Well, you got plenty of takes recording it. That was an upside, but you normally go away for the weekend, away up to the salutation, and it's a great weekend. But it was different this year, especially doing the bands. It didn't feel like you were all playing together until you heard it on YouTube, like on the Saturday. So it was different, but it was good to still have something to practice for and to play towards. So no, it was good, but it's not just quite the same as it normally is.
Because you are quite a competitive kind of guy.
Yeah.
And obviously I've seen that firsthand, and I think you know what I'm going to say to you. Obviously, I don't know if some of our viewers will know this, but Finn's very competitive, and I've seen that firsthand, as I say, when I was commentating at a local live Scot at Lanark Market. Do you want to tell the story, Finn, or do you want me to continue?
I'll let you continue.
So, at the local live Scot competition, there's a section for the young handlers, whereas it's all about the younger generation in agriculture being able to show off. It was a lamb in this instance, and it's all about how you present the sheep for the judge, how you show the animal and your knowledge of the animal, and then obviously the judge picks out his placings. So on the actual morning of the competition, there wasn't very few entries into the class. So just before the class happened, they actually opened it up to any younger ones who wanted to take part, and they would find their sheep. So Finn came up to me at the box where I was sitting, and he said he fancied taking part at the very last minute. So we entered the class, and Finn made a good job, and the judge had a wee word with him about his animal, and lo and behold, Finn took the red ticket. First place, which was fantastic, and then I think, did you go on and you took the reserve championship? Was that right?
Yeah, that was overall. So
you competed against April Skelton, I think was the girl who won it. But I was speaking to the judge later on after the show, and I was saying about the young handlers class, and I said, "Did you know that was Finn Hope?" He says, "Yeah, I didn't." He says, "He knew an awful lot about that sheep." He said, "He told me when it was born, how he fed it, what weight it was, how he prepared it for the show." And I said to him, "Well, I hate to tell you, but he lied, because I said he only entered this competition 30 seconds before he entered the ring. But you've got to go these lengths, Finn, to get to the top." Yeah. So I can see, obviously you're doing it the same in the competitions. You're with the accordion, you're taking the top players, and you'll go all the way, I'm sure. But do you miss the accordion clubs, Finn, when you're always go to the local ones? Do you miss them quite a bit just now with the COVID going on?
Yeah, it's really strange, because it used to be every month you'd have something to play for. You were thinking what sets you were going to do, who you were going to ask to play with. And I mean, like, obviously there's Tunes in the House, which has been a great thing. Yeah. And like, obviously Keith's been doing stuff on the Facebook page, but it doesn't really just come to what it was to go to the bowling club and have a tune with everyone. Yep. So yeah, I've really missed them over lockdown.
Yeah, and you're not just at that age yet, but there's I'm sure in 2 or 3 years' time you'll probably enjoy going to the bowling club for one or two other reasons. And of course, we're always looking for members at the bowling club as well, so feel free to join us next year. But you'll obviously be missing, and your grandpa as well, Tom Hope, who's obviously a stalwart for Biggar Accordion and Fiddle Club, and obviously a great supporter to other clubs. I remember Tom, your grandpa, and the late John Anderson took me to my first accordion and fiddle club. I think it was Peebles. I think it was the first one I went to. So I always remember that, but I was just a young boy then as well. It wasn't that many years ago, really, was it? I haven't really aged much, have I, Finn?
No, not at all.
No, that's. So what's your sort of plans just now? How are you still getting lessons? Are you doing it? Are you still getting lessons yet, Finn?
Yeah. So since lockdown came, we've done it over FaceTime, which we used to do before when we couldn't get to Garvold, so we would FaceTime and have a lesson that way. And actually this year normally if we were going away for the summer, we'd stop lessons for the summer holiday, but this year we've kind of went right through, bar maybe the odd lesson. So I've had one since about March all the time. So no, it's been really good.
Right. And how do you find it's any easier with Keith out the room, or is it easier with Keith in the room? Come on now, be honest.
When you're in the room, I suppose you maybe get, like, Keith will maybe go and play the piano or something, whereas over FaceTime there's not maybe getting a tune with him, but I suppose it's all you can really do at the minute. But I do quite like him when he's in the room and he's getting to see what you're doing. Oh
yeah, big sick. Because you're listening. No, that's great. And what kind of tunes are you learning just now, Finn?
Well, at the minute, I'm actually learning Sandy Leggett's Stag Week.
We've two-step, is it? Is that a two-step?
Yeah.
Yep.
Written by Peter Wood, I think.
Right.
So, but over lockdown, we've learned. Well, we're learning as well Old Comrades, Highland Wedding, and tunes like that. So no, it's been really good.
Aye, good. Well, I'm sure we'll as the Accordion and Fiddle or Biggar virtual Accordion and Fiddle Club season goes on, we'll no doubt hear you having a tune with them as we go on. And apart from the accordion, Finn, what's your other sort of hobbies? I know you're a bit of a rugby player.
Yeah, I've been playing rugby, helping out at kind of farms when it was possible.
Yeah.
But no, we've been back at rugby now for I think 6 weeks, so it's been really good to get back.
Yeah. Good.
But no.
Very good. Very good. Well, that's brilliant, Finn. I really appreciate you coming on and chatting to us. I mean, you say you've been playing for 7 years, but to be quite honest, you know you're a young man that's keen on the music, and it's brilliant to see. And I'm sure you'll have a good career at the accordion and music.
Thank you.
Now you mentioned earlier on you played in the Gaelic Waltz section at Perth.
Yeah, played in the Gaelic Waltzes.
Yep. So tell us a wee bit about the Gaelic Waltzes that you picked.
Well, there's not much to tell apart from I nicked the set from Alan Gardiner, really. It was up on the Balance broadcasts.
Did he ask for anything? Have you to give him a wee backhander for it, or
no?
Just a husky lemonade.
Let me off this time, but he said next time I nick one of his sets there would be so.
Was just a whiskey and lemonade or something?
Aye, something like that.
Or maybe a lemonade and lime. That's his other favourite. Good. Okay. Well, Finn, thanks very much for joining us once again. And I believe we're now going to hear that set of Gaelic waltzes that you played at for the Perth Virtual Festival.
Yeah.
The Gaelic waltzes we're going to hear then, Finn, is first tune is Like a Swan in the Lake, followed by The Fair Maid of Barrie, The Banks of Lochiel, and Loch Leven.
Yeah.
Thanks, Finn.
No
See you
problem.
soon.
Thanks, Andrew.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That was Kirsty Campbell playing a March Strathspey reel, which won her the Ladies' Trophy at Perth last weekend. Kirsty was also placed third in the grand final of the Senior Scottish competition. The tunes there were the Festival March and Master David Guthrie, both composed by Robert Black, and For the Record by Jim Curry, one of the Curry brothers. Kirsty and her sister, Breacher, performed at her club back in March 2018, and the following month, young Jake and Jenna Johnston from Crawford John entertained us. Jake and Jenna, along with Daisy Arnold from Moniaive, entered and won the junior trio competition at Perth last week, playing 2 Skippenish songs. And here they are playing the tunes, The Island and December. Well done, Jake, Jenna and Daisy, winning the Alec MacArthur Quaich, a trophy which was presented to the festival in 1990 in memory of our club's founder, the General Alec MacArthur.
You're right, Alan. It was great stuff. So tell me, you were adjudicating at the virtual festival. How did you enjoy doing that?
It was very enjoyable. It was a different challenge this year because of the fact that it was online. In some ways, it was better because I got a bit more time to gather my thoughts. Usually on the day of the festival, it's pandemonium, trying to scribble things down quickly between competitors. But this time I had a bit more time in my hands. But in other ways, it was maybe slightly trickier because there was no audience there and there was no atmosphere. So it was quite a sterile environment to be adjudicating in.
Right. And is that the first time you've done? Obviously, you've adjudicated before. Is that the first time you've done it? Is it on a virtual level?
It is, yes, and I think it's one of the first times it's been. Certainly, the first time Perth has taken place virtually. I think maybe Newcastleton trialled the idea earlier on in the year, but I think it's the first time at Perth. And I have to congratulate the organisers. For the sterling efforts they put into the festival. The organisation was first class and all the competitors embraced the idea. And I think the numbers were up this year by about 50%. So a great credit to everybody involved.
Great. And do you quite enjoy the adjudicating, Alan?
I do quite enjoy it. It can be quite stressful at times. At the end of the day, it's one person's opinion. Not everybody will agree, I don't suppose, but yeah, it's an enjoyable thing to do every now and again. I wouldn't like to do it every year.
Right. And were you just doing it yourself, or was there other judges involved?
No, there were other judges involved. Judging the accordions were Billy Anderson, Gary Sutherland, and Jimmy Cassidy, and right. Paul Anderson was judging the fiddles. Right.
Okay. And okay, so were you just given like the audio tracks for the senior Scottish, or is that how it was, just for the final?
Yeah, that's right. We were given a video and audio tracks for all sections, apart from the final of the senior Scottish traditional. So we judged it solely in audio. We had no idea who the competitors were. And we were as surprised as everybody else was on the night when Gary Innes announced the results live and take the floor.
Aye, it was quite a good way to do it, I thought. But I heard a few of the snippets of the final, and I thought the standard of playing was pretty good in the final. It must have been quite a tough decision in the end, was it?
It was. I mean, the standard of play was absolutely fantastic, and very little to pick between the final six. So yes, it was a difficult task, and it comes down to personal preference and really the finest of margins at the end of the day. But fortunately, myself and the other adjudicator, Jimmy Cassidy, who judged the final, agreed on the selection, so that was good. Well, that's about all we've got time for today. We hope you've enjoyed the club, and we hope that you'll join us again next month for our December meeting. However, as promised, we go out today with one of our archive lockdown videos, and I hope that you won't be too disappointed.
You're right, we won't, Alan, because it is indeed the Alan Gardiner Scottish Dance Band with a set of jigs.
We'll be back again next month. Don't forget,